been a shift in how you feel. Are you more relaxed? Are you more centered right now? When you're ready, open your eyes and go back the rest of the way. So good morning. My name is Betty Daly, and today we're talking about sound healing. In the beginning was the Word, and shortly thereafter, let there be light. So all that is came into being through the intention and the vibration, the Word of our Creator, our Source. The spoken word is sound as vibration, and it brings forth all of creation. All mass, all light, including our bodies. Our bodies are all sound. Our cells vibrate, our DNA vibrates constantly. And so for some of you this might be new information, and others, you've already got this. And so if this is new, I invite you to open up, be receptive, and just play this morning and see how it feels in your body. Just let yourself go with it. So, like I said a minute ago, let's start checking in with how you feel. If you have any little aches or pains, or well, I'm off balance right now after the chime. So, with this idea, that we're all frequency, sound, and vibration, disease can be spoken of as being out of tune. So our task is to bring our body, our mind, and our spirit back into resonance, retuning the symphony that we all are. We are all this collection of so many different sounds and vibrations. Food is different vibrations. Vitamins are different vibrations. The people that you are around are different vibrations. These are all different ways that we can tune our body. So this morning, maybe it worked. I haven't spoken in a long time. So what is sound healing? So today we already experienced the wonderful chime. We've been singing. We've had some drumming. And so if you would like to hear more of the self-audio chimes and go more deeply into what the different frequencies might do for your body, please come to the 1-hour extended silent meditation. It is very empowering. And everybody should have your new calendars, so it should be on there when the next one is. So please come and enjoy that. Wednesday, April 10th. So sound healing uses voices and instruments to improve the physical and emotional sense of well-being. And all these different things, they could include listening to high vibration music, singing or humming to music. We have chanting, and we have toning, and we have owning. You could move to the beat of music, which you see me do pretty frequently up here. We have gongs and chimes and crystal and brass bowls, which we have a lot here today. So after service, if you don't know about them, if you want to come up and look at them and ask us about them and try them out, we welcome that. There's meditating to music. And Karen, would you be willing to stand and share your experience at one of our chime meditations? And would you like to stay there, or you can
I'll sit here. I can talk loud enough. I went to the very first sound circle, and I got to play one of the bowls for probably at least half an hour straight. And when I went home that night, it was a lot of fun. I wasn't expecting anything to happen. when I went home that night and went to bed, I know my kitty is purring next to me because I feel her with my hand. That night, the ringing in my ears had tamed down so much that I actually heard her purring. So, I'm getting a bowl for myself, and I'm going to do it every day. Supposed to get rid of my ringing ears.
Yeah, so the bowl that she was using is the one in the front. It's in the note of F. That would be heart chakra. And so the theory is that by chiming, that wavelength canceled out the wavelength of whatever the inner tinnitus was. So, and we don't always have to know why, it just works. So this is such a big topic that we can only experience a few different things this morning. So my personal experience with sound healing started way back in the early 80s with one of my first women's groups. We would go and chant, and they gave me my first set of tuning forks, which I brought in case anybody wants to see those later. And then I discovered a gentleman by the name of Jonathan Goldman. And he founded the Sound Healers Association up in Boulder, Colorado. And if you're interested in sound work, this is an awesome book. He studied all over the world. He went up to Tibet to study and chant with the Tibetan monks. He went down to the shamans, the Mayan shamans, into the temples down in Mexico, and got his head to glow. That's explained in the book. Our pineal gland has the capacity to phosphoresce, so our head glows. And in the book, he talks a lot in the beginning about Pythagoras. And most of us remember Pythagoras from school and the Pythagorean theorem, but his real love was on all the different frequencies and vibrations. And he had a mystery school at different levels. And in the book, there's one of the charts. Plato was one of his students, and so he's the one that recorded all this information, thank goodness. And there's this huge diagram in there. And for thousands of years, people had no clue what it was. And in the early 80s, they sent this over to the biggest computers at that time, were at Purdue University. And they ran it through, and after several days of the computer thinking about this, its best guess was it is a diagram of the world's soul. And it is all in musical notes. It's pretty amazing. So sound healing, and it's believed in its formal form, started back with the Greeks, with Pythagoras and Hippocrates, who used it to heal not just the body, but also the mind. And I personally believe that sound work and singing and humming is our very first primal form of healing. Before we knew about herbs or the best food, we hugged each other, and we rocked our babies, and we hummed. So it is the first healing modality. So there are lots of benefits to sound healing. It can help with pain management, it lowers stress, decreases your mood swings, lowers blood pressure, lowers your cholesterol levels, lowers risk for coronary artery problems, improves your sleep, and many more. Those are the ones that we have found research on. And it's free, guys. One of the more recent findings with Alzheimer's and music, the area of the brain that stores your music memory is not affected by Alzheimer's and some other forms of dementia. It's why music is so used in the care of people that are having those difficulties. It does not affect that area of the brain. So fill your life with a lot of music now. Also, another interesting story about healing from the early 80s, when I got interested in this. A monastery over in France, all the monks sung Vespers 7 times a day. And they got a new abbot, And like most monasteries, they made wine, they made bread, they made cheese, they had products to make the monastery run. And the abbot decided he wanted the monastery to be a little more profitable. And so he says, well, we don't all have to sing Vespers 7 times a day, but we can rotate who's singing, so there's more workforce. Well, within a few very short weeks, people began to get sick in the monastery. And they were absolutely sure they had a rogue virus or bacterium running around the kitchen. So they swabbed everything, and they could not find anything wrong. And one of the old monks finally came up to the new abbot and said, can we please sing again? So they started singing, and they all got well. So I encourage you to sing and hum around the house. So, we're going to have a couple of experiences here with humming, seeing as this is probably one of the easiest forms of sound therapy that everybody can do. So, singing and humming have some extra benefits above some of the others. So it increases the nitric oxide, which dilates your blood vessels, lowers your blood pressure and your heart rate. It increases lymphatic flow, which is why it then helps with your immune system. It increases oxytocin, so that makes you feel good, and it increases the oxygen to your cells just because you're having to breathe more in order to sing or to hum. And humming is free and it's easy to do. So we're going to do a couple of exercises here. So I'll explain what we're going to do, and then we'll all begin. So you'll need to sit comfortably, preferably with a straighter spine. You'll be relaxing your jaw, unclenching your teeth. Your lips will stay closed, and it should be easy and comfortable. There should be no one forcing the sound. It doesn't matter what tone you make, because the tone you make is the one that's perfect for your body. So you can't be out of key. So, everybody sit nice and relaxed. Okay. And now let's just take a nice deep breath, and we'll do a continuous hum. And gently release it. Take a breath whenever you need to. Try a low note. Try a higher note. And so you might have noticed that the sound vibrates in different parts of your body, besides just your nasal cavities. Most people can feel that. So the lower tones usually you can feel in the lower part of your body. And they're especially good to help relieve pain or just give you a sense of well-being. And then the mid-range vibrates more across all of your organs, your lungs, your heart chakra. They can be very expansive in feeling. And then the higher notes, they resonate more in your head. They can relieve the stuffy nose, but they can also be a really great preparation to go into deep meditation. So now we're going to look at another aspect of all forms of not just sound healing, but even prayer work. So Jonathan Goldman came up with this little formula, probably been restated from other ancient wisdom. Frequency plus intention is healing. I don't know if you remember some time ago when we were talking about Emoto's work with photographing water crystals. and how they had polluted water, and the monks, the priests over there prayed over it, and the water became clear. It's another example of this intention and vibration creating the desired outcome. And interestingly enough, in the last 5-10 years, in quantum physics, they have found the same thing. And in, in there, they call it the observer effect. So if the person running an experiment has an opinion about what the end result of that experiment is going to be, it changes the experiment. And so there again, intention creates the outcome. And all three of these things should be really familiar to us, because it's the third principle of unity. I create my life out of my beliefs and intentions. And it is proven absolutely that this is so. It's just not in doubt anymore. So now we're going to do an exercise where we create an intention, and your intention might just be that you'd like to have a sense of well-being today. Or maybe you've got a sore back, and you want to send this tone to your back. Or maybe you want to send out love or compassion. So just take a minute and look for an intention for yourself. Okay, and once again, let's relax our jaw. Hold your intention, whatever comfortable note for you works. And let's take a nice deep breath and hum. Again, just take a moment to notice how you feel. Kind of take inventory of your body, of your emotions, and just notice if there was a shift or not. And when you're at home, as you're practicing humming, I encourage you to do that. I hum all the time. People make fun of me about it. As I'm washing dishes or pulling weeds or whatever. You might discover, as you practice at home, a particular tone that sounds amazing to you. It immediately drops you into a place of peace. And some people have called this the soul sound. Whether it is or not, I like the name. And so when you tone it frequently, it becomes easier, it becomes pretty automatic. And so if you had a circumstance where you've just gotten off the phone with the insurance company and you're all upset, if you take just a few breaths and tone that special note, your special note, you'll immediately drop back down into a place of peace. And the interesting thing that they found was that if you're out in public in the grocery line, where you might not want to do that out loud, if you just think about that tone and do it a couple times, it'll drop you into the same place. So these are free things that we can all do to help us stay centered, walk through life in more of a prayerful state. So now we're going to do some oming together, and I think people are probably a little bit more familiar with oming. So Ruth and Jennifer, would you guys come up? The whole team can come up. And one of the things I found recently about the toning and the oming, Gabby Gifford, who is recovering networks in her brain to be able to speak again.
I was in Peru a few years ago, and I was with a spiritual group, so we did different spiritual practices, and one of them was the oming. So when we were in one of the stone ruins, we were taught to do a deep tone as low as you can go, and then just hold it, and then when you take a breath, you take another breath. So that's what we're going to practice this morning, is just feeling the vibration in your body. Om is thought to be everything. It could be the source of everything. So just feel yourself being in connection with everything. So let's take a deep breath in and then go deep.
Speaking of the word home, another thing, I read all kinds of science stuff. I saw recently that NASA had recorded the sound of the sun coming off of our own sun. And when they spelled it out, it was AUM. And they then tried to recreate, or did recreate, Emoto's work with water. They took regular tap water, which has a fractured crystal structure to it, and they played the sound of the sun into the water, and it recreated a beautiful six-pointed crystal, just with the sound of the sun. So don't be afraid to be out in the sun. I love it when science catches up with those of us in metaphysics. I have no idea where I am with my slides anymore. So today we shared our voices, we shared our energy, we shared intention, we sat in each other's energy within our own spiritual community. And so as we continue individually to open to all these different possibilities, we need to remember to be in great gratitude that we have this community, that we have this knowledge. Most of the world is oblivious, especially the Western world is oblivious to this information. So remember to hum around the house, pulling those weeds. Om in the shower, that's a great space because it bounces off the walls. So just add a lot of music into your life at every level. And so thank you very much. Keep music in your life. And after service, come look at the instruments. So thank you so much. Okay. So now's our time. We have our post-message song led by Jennifer. So please stand.
This could be a call and response. You don't need to sing the blue part, but honestly, I think everybody's singing whatever part you're singing to sing, okay?
And say with me,